Selia, Areti, Agon, Τέχνη, Άριστος.
Hi, my name is Brendan Wilson. I am the president and the head of Aristos Martial Arts. I have been studying the martial arts now for 40 years. About 5 years ago, my wife and I became disillusioned with the direction that the martial arts was going. We've been studying Taekwondo, and we decided to take a sabbatical from teaching. And in that 1-year sabbatical, we were training, we were researching, and we decided to change our style into what we call Aristos. And what we wanted was a hard-style technique based on Taekwondo and Tang Soo Do and based on the principles of ancient Greece.
My name is Sonia Wilson. I'm the Vice President of Aristos Martial Arts, LLC, and I've been studying the martial arts for more than 8 years now.
We picked the name Aristos because it means the best ones. We had this idea that your achievement in the martial arts is based on your merit, it's based on your effort, it's based on what you put into it and what you take back out of it. The Greek word aristos is the basis for the modern English word aristocrat. We don't think of ourselves as aristocrats because aristocrats are born into their position. We think of ourselves as people who are the best ones because we are seeking to make ourselves the best that we can possibly be.
Aristos means the best ones, and that means living your life to the full and giving your all in life.
My objectives for the students in the martial arts is that they improve themselves. We want them to use the principles of karate to get better at the martial arts, and then to take that principle of karate and get better at the other things that they do in their personal lives, their professions, their studies, their personal relationships, so that they can achieve their own goals.
Hi everybody, my name is Joe Vautour. I've been studying martial arts since 1979. Martial arts to me is not just a workout, it's a way of life, and it's really helped me develop not only in the physical side but on the mental side. Just opening a new Aristos school for my students. I just ask that you do your best, try to come to all classes and allow the art to filter into your life and change you as it has me.
We do still teach the traditions of Taekwondo. In fact, all of our students are required to certify and qualify in Taekwondo. But we go back to an older form of Taekwondo as it was taught in the 1950s by General Che in Korea during the Korean War. We have gotten rid of all of the fancy, the fluff. We don't have any of the high kicks or the backflips or anything like that. This is straightforward martial arts as it would have been practiced by warriors.
Hello from Athens. My name is Toskas Nicholas, Lieutenant General retired. Now I'm teaching to the Greek Military Academy, and in this case I will try to link the basic principles of your training, of Aristos training, with the basic principles of the Greek philosophy and what was achieved during the 5th century in this area. Behind us is Acropolis and Parthenon, one of the main masterpieces which were created during this period. Democracy and philosophy. How democracy was functioning during this period. Besides here is Pnika, where almost every week 6,000 Athenians were concentrated in order to decide about war, legislation, or condemning the leaders for not doing something well. About philosophy, you know the main philosophers of this period, Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, who established the basics of the classic philosophy.
Greek culture and heritage means to me specifically the battles that they fought and just the attitude of the Greek people. A small number of military people were able to defeat 10 times their numbers. And it was an amazing thing that we see as that we've incorporated into Aristos, that the attitude that brings forth.
The ancient Greeks believed that their liberal regime was functioning much better than the oligarchic Oriental despotism. They fought in Marathon 490 BC, they fought in the naval battle of Salamis 480 BC, along with the battle in Thermopylae. They fought against the Medians, the Persians, and protected this area, but there were consequences for the whole Europe this period against oligarchic regimes.
One of the things that I admired the most about Greek culture and its legacy is the toughness of the people of Greece. If we look back in history, you will see that the people of Greece lived in difficult circumstances. It was difficult to grow things here. It was difficult to live here. And yet, the Greek people thrived, and they spread their culture throughout most of the known world, and they were also able to defend themselves against aggressors as they did against the Persians.
The ancient Greeks were saying andres gar polis. It means the power of the city is based on the people and not on the weapons or the other materials.
Greek culture and heritage is famous throughout the centuries for its fierceness in battles. The peoples of Greece are fantastic warriors. We've incorporated that mentality into the Aristos martial arts, and this focus of attention plus striving for perfection is what helps us move along this path.
I admire Greek culture. I admire its legacy that we feel every day in our lives. But most important to us is the 5 principles of Aristos that we have taken, that we have integrated into the martial arts, and that we practice and think about every day.
Αρχή, αρετή, αγών, τέχνη, ξενία. The basic principles of Aristos are coming exactly from the philosophy of this period.
There are 5 principles of Aristos. They are arete, xenia, arche, techne, and agon. The most important principle is arete. Aristotle had this idea that as you practiced a thing, you became a new being. For example, if you practiced a musical instrument, you became a musician, not just someone who knew how to play a musical instrument, and you were a musician for your whole life, even when you were asleep. We take that idea of arete and we apply it to the martial arts, so that someone comes into Aristos, they practice the martial arts, and they become a new being, they become a martial artist. But more important than that, they take that idea and they apply it to other areas of their life, whether that be their profession, their studies, or their personal relationships.
Arete means excellence, and excellence to me means giving your all in life and excelling in everything that you can do.
Another principle of Aristos is Xenia. Now in Taekwondo, they use the Confucian idea of courtesy. And courtesy is an excellent thing, but it's often used as a way to subordinate one human being to another. We like the idea of Xenia, which is the Greek word for the guest-host relationship, which is a mutual exchange of responsibilities and protection that's given between someone who is the host and someone who is a guest. And we apply that to the martial arts and to other areas of our lives. So we do have some times where the instructor is in charge and must be adhered to, but we also respect the students because they are part of the martial arts. They are part of Aristos.
The athletic games were taking place in stadiums, gyms and palestri. The athletes were called also agonistes, the same word with agon, which means fighting, and the only prize was a wreath from olive branch.
Another principle of the martial arts is agon. Agon is the Greek word for struggle. It's also the basis of the English word agony. We understand that life is sometimes a struggle, it's sometimes a fight. And yet, the more important aspect of agon is perseverance. It means getting up in the morning and doing those things that you need to do to accomplish your goals. And sometimes that is a struggle between you and your tendency to be lazy, you and your tendency to go the wrong direction. So agon is a very important principle for Aristos. Now, as far as the technical aspect of the martial arts, we have two principles. They are techne and arche. Arche is the basic set of forms and techniques that we use in Aristos. Techne is the way that we generate power in order to achieve those objectives.
Applying these principles during your training will strengthen your body and spirit.
Aristos is a martial art that's for everyone. We think one of the problems with the modern martial arts is they're too athletically oriented. They're basically designed for people who can kick high and jump, who have flexibility, who are athletically capable, or who are young. But we look at the martial arts more in the way that a soldier would look at the martial arts, which is we want basic techniques, and those basic techniques can be adapted towards the aptitude of the practitioner. So if I have a young person that's very athletic, and they're very flexible, and they can kick high, then we will adapt the techniques to that. But if I have an older person that might have a series of disabilities or different abilities, we would adapt the techniques to them. Because using our principles of martial arts, we can still generate the same effect based on the different abilities of the people who participate. That means that we can have a martial arts that has student bodies of people who are older, people who are younger, and people who have different abilities.
Jumping jacks, ready, begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Our objectives for the students is that they learn the martial arts, that they develop themselves through arete, the principle of excellence, and that they take that attitude and apply it to other areas of their personal and professional lives so that they can achieve their own goals and objectives.
My name is Johan Nordlund. I'm from Finland, and I've been training martial arts for about 8 years.
I'm Defne Tasman, and I've trained for 2 years in martial arts. Aristos means agon, arete, arche, techne, xenia, which are the 5 very important parts of our group, of our righteous harmony. Aristos means best ones, and with arete I'm trying to transform from one being to another being, which is a martial artist, being perfect, excellent in what I am, which also means arche.
Aristos is my hobby. It became the first real sport that was for me, and it has improved a lot for me. It has improved my physical condition, it has improved my confidence, and I understand now how to defend myself if something would happen, and I understand now what I'm physically capable of.
Aristos is a martial arts that's based on the techniques, the hard-style stand-up techniques from Taekwondo and Tang Soo Do. But we have taken those techniques and we have gone back to an older version of those techniques that was trained back in the 1950s. We have taken away the fancy things, the high kicks, the jumps, anything that is artificial. We have come back to core techniques in the martial arts, and we have applied to that the principles from Greek philosophy.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have with us today General Nikos Toskas from the Greek Army. He has been the advisor to Aristos for the last 3 years on Greek historical and cultural affairs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brendan. Welcome to this historical place. Thank you for coming for so different places, so different nations, for attending these historical monuments, these historical places, and this area where during the 5th century many things were achieved, especially democracy and philosophy and techni and agon and arete and archi. All these principles you are shown into your badge in Aristos School.
Aristos is its own martial art. It is coherent all by itself. But within martial arts of Aristos, we have Taekwondo. And we do teach Taekwondo. All of our students are certified in Taekwondo. We have the professional ability to certify them all the way up to the rank of 6th degree black belt. But in addition to qualifying in Taekwondo, we also apply the principles of Aristos, and we can certify our students in Aristos.
My favorite part of the martial arts is the forms, where we can learn all the different stances and kicking, punching, everything is included, and we learn how to react in emergency cases.
I created a form that is called Aristos. Every black belt in Aristos can create their own form, and my form's name is Leonidas, of the name of the Spartan king. He had many struggles in his life, and I decided to try to get the emotional and physical connection in each of every one of my movements, to try to understand from his childhood to what his greatest trials when he was pushed back and pushed forward.
My favorite part of the martial arts and Aristos are the forms. I see the forms as being the soulful part, the artistic part of the martial arts. One of the things which is unique about Aristos is that at the black belt level, the black belts are required to develop their own form. That form needs to be named for a Greek person, battle, or principle. When they test for their rank in the martial arts, and it is approved by the instructor, that form becomes part of Aristos, and it is available to subsequent generations that are coming through to develop the art.
Self-defense for women is very important in Aristos martial arts. We want our women to be confident and prepared as they go out into their professional and private lives.
Self-defense brings me more discipline and more self-confidence, because when I go out, I can protect myself and I feel more secure, and that's also the same for my family. They feel better and safe.
I think the most important thing, the most enjoyable thing about an instructor of the martial arts is to deal with young people and watch them develop their abilities and their character over time. Aristos is a simple, powerful, soulful martial arts. It's based on a very simple, practical techniques and the principles of ancient Greece. We would like to invite people to look into Aristos, to see if it would be for them, and to join our team. We currently have people in 10 countries practicing Aristos, and we would like to see that expand to the whole world.